guess it's too wet for Morris to lay down on the bench. So he's waiting here at the door going, come on, Mom, bring me the food. Good morning, everyone. I didn't waste no time. Here comes Don with my hummingbird feeder. Thank you, Donnie.
You're welcome.
Hi, Morris. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Here you go. There you go. Good morning. Well, we're supposed to dry out a little bit today. I don't know. It's stayed cooler, which it was supposed to do. The humidity's supposed to drop more tomorrow. It's still pretty humid out here, but not bad with the sun not baking us and the temperature down a little bit. I've been in the house fooling with Grok since Elon was nice enough to put it down to super heavy plus users. So I upgraded from super heavy to super heavy plus, and I have been going to town. I'm wore out with teaching it how to do stuff, which it has done a great job on. I think this is going to be a good thing for me. For example, I've got it downloading photos every night, Google Photos every night at 11 p.m., the daily photos, and putting them on my hard drive and putting them up in Google Drive so I can do stuff with them. And it's got to create folders and unzip files and, you know, do the stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I told it I'd be back in a few days after that was working well, and I'd add next steps. They came through and ate my impatiens last night, the deer. It's not fair. And then they walked over here, and they ate some of my begonias too. I'm not pleased. Don's going to take the bushwhacker down and probably do another tank with the machine. It's full. We were going to go get gas because he didn't think he had enough to do a session, but he had enough. And we're trying to use up the old gas for starters, and then also, you know, no sense getting started if you don't have enough to do a session in the meantime. Guardian Angel's open for another hour, and I'm just going to go pop in and see if they added any Halloween stuff that Michelle and I care about. I just feel like getting out for a minute. Dawn and I were going to go for a ride, like I said. So I had come out with my purse and stuff ready to go. And then, you know, it's better for him that he doesn't have to go out now, because it's gotten late in the day. It's 5:30. And, you know, just let him go get, he already had his work clothes on and stuff. And really, we were just going for gas and Pokemon. So I will just go out for a minute on my own. Well, it sure is looking good up here, down here where he's been, where he's done the cleanup stuff. It looks great. I think I said this to you guys, but I also said it to him. This is exactly the right time of year to do this, because the fall leaves are fixing to come down, and any, you know, it looks like somebody went through there with the machine look that it has to it will totally disappear when the leaves come down and replenish the soil, and yeah, make everything look natural and untouched again. So that's good, because, you know, I'm not a super fan of equipment that just goes in there and is a little rough with stuff. I like hand done, but there's more than we can keep up with, and we got to get it back under control, and it's doing a great job and all that good stuff. So Don actually didn't end up working for a super long time this morning, but long enough on a Saturday, and we had, you know, a nice breakfast, bacon and eggs, and I made Vidalia onions to put in the egg, which is always tasty. And we were talking a lot about Grokbot and just chit-chatting a little bit, you know, just hanging out. And, you know, the time, it just evaporates. It just evaporates. I grocery shop during the week and stuff, and because I went to Harris Teeter with Michelle on Thursday, you know, more than just the Tuesday stuff, we haven't had to run to Harris Teeter or anything. So anyway, it's cleared up, but only in the last hour or two. It was pretty overcast the whole day, and it's just now actually looking like it's cleared up. Sorry for that long video I did the other day where the camera looked like it was having trouble focusing on, you know, where it wanted to be focused, and I think that was partly the distance from the window where I had my arm, the rear view mirror, the depth of the dash. There were just a couple of, I thought maybe I had zoomed in the camera for a bit, but no, I don't think that was the issue. I'm trying to hold it in a different position though. My arm on the center console is not exactly probably the most conducive to great footage angle, so I'll do something a little different, although not quite as comfortable with the camera. So I want to talk about Grokbot for a little bit. I think I said this earlier this morning that Elon had, and SpaceX had changed Grokbots to be included with the Grok, the Super Grok Plus plan, which is the middle one. I had Super Grok, was included with my Premium Plus membership, but now I've got Super Grok Plus, so I can do the Grokbot stuff. And I have spent, the reason why I haven't been filming a lot today is because I spent a lot of time setting up stuff with the Grokbots. I'm not here to tell you that I am the world's, you know, perfect person to explain Grokbots and get them going, but I think I have some I do think I have some solid skill coming from a, you know, computer science background and a career at IBM, so I get it a little bit. Let me switch to, I'm in chill, but she's not slowing down. I'm going to sloth, so we will obey the speed limit in the 25-mile-an-hour zone. There we go. The person behind me turned off, so that was okay. I know it irritates people when you do the speed limit through town, but that's life. Anyway, all I'm trying to say is I didn't have any trouble setting anything up today. And I think the most interesting thing is, you know, you get the agents, bots, teammates, whatever you want to call them, it doesn't matter what you call them. You get these guys doing for you what you need to do. And there are a lot of great use cases out there, some of which are, what are you doing? Easier than others. Yeah. Look down at his phone as I came through after he almost pulled out in front of me. I was explaining it to someone today, and I said it's kind of like you've hired a summer intern for the second year in a row, and you got the cream of the crop intern. They're really smart, and you know, you trained them how to do stuff before, and you're training them how to do more stuff, and they brought along n number of other interns with them this year. And those are all really smart interns, but they don't have a lot of training yet. And you're trying to explain what you need them to do in a repeatable way. And then at some point you let them go off and do what needs to be doing. And they can just come to you if they have questions, but they're pretty self-sufficient because these are really smart. These are really smart interns. That's the best way I know how to describe it to you. So you might set one intern on your inbox. Oh my God, I have tons and tons and tons of, hi.
Let's go.
Thanks. He came out of the Revelry hair shop to take a picture of the Cybertruck, so I thought I'd be friendly and roll down the window. This is Fuquay, you know. His demeanor was, wow, that's a cool truck. I wouldn't have rolled down the window for hate. So anyway, you might turn one of these interns over. By the way, I've not experienced any hate driving my truck at all. I would tell you if I had. You know, you'd be the first to know if I had. But, so you turn one of the interns over on your inbox. Look, I haven't had a chance to look at my mail hardly for like a month, just putting out fires. I need you to go in there and get rid of the chaff and figure out urgent tasks and maybe create me a to-do list or a spreadsheet of stuff I need to attend to, or move the ones that you think are really worth I need to read into this folder, and the other stuff you can put into this folder. Whatever your requirements are to help you catch up on your inbox. And maybe you've missed a couple of appointments, so you need calendar management. And I'm going to do pull over here. I'm clicked pull over instead of park, so I won't have to move. Although in both cases it puts the car in park. It's just one doesn't take this long backing in procedure. And, you know, there's just all kinds of things you can do. So what I wanted to say was, share with you was a couple of the things that I automated today that I thought were fun to automate. Or useful to me to automate. Dawn likes to download the Duke energy bill each month and put it into a folder on Google Drive. So we've got that working. I like to take all the photos I took every day that got uploaded to Google Photos and put them in a folder on Drive so I can access them for WeVideo for the videos. I don't know how great it's going to work, but I've got the bots now looking at the Ring camera footage and picking out deer, fox, birds taking a bath, and other stuff to, you know, possibly use for incorporation in the videos. Well, you know, I think they close earlier than I thought they closed, because Deb's leaving Little Angel. I think they close at 6. But let me see. They're looking at me wondering, what the heck am I doing? Ask Jeff what time the big store closes today. All right, Little Angel closes at 5:30, which it's 5:30, and the big store closes at 6:30. So I have time to go in. I will pick up the conversation with cool stuff I automated. I can do a better job when I'm not so distracted when I come out of the store, because I don't have a lot of time to go in. Otherwise, I would sit here and finish it up now. I like this spot on the end down here for the Cybertruck. Yeah, if you can't handle shopping with a big crowd of people, currently come after 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon, or come Sunday. Sunday used to be the busiest day of the week, but it's after COVID and changes, it's not. But yeah, so right now is a good time to come if you don't want to mingle too much, which is not why I'm here, but I'm just saying, this parking lot, have you ever seen it this little, this less I can't crowd? Believe the green dress is still here, and boy, is that a pretty dress to wear to some fall event. I got a couple of packs of fall gel clings at 50 cents a piece, and this cute little frog metal guy, kind of matches one I already have for the garden, for a plant, you know, to put in a plant pot. And that was it, sadly, but I enjoyed looking. They're pretty cleaned out in there from people flying through today. I turned myself around so I'm not facing the sun. And I forgot to do climate keep, and cabin overheat came on. I enabled that notification the other day, so I'm a little more aware now, but it cools down quick in here. It wasn't that hot. Well, especially when I think we have cabin overheat set to 90 in the Cybertruck, so it's never getting that warm. Anyway, so I had a good time in there. It's 6:03, so I really did move through fairly quickly. And I thought I'd sit here and just talk for a little bit. Maybe put the car in park. The truck in park. There we go. Instead of trying to do it talking on the way home, or at least part of it. Because that wasn't working too well the last couple of times I tried. So hopefully you've hired an intern to assist you with your workload helped sort of explain what a Grok bot is. And I started to tell you the things I had automated. Well, everybody, probably the main ones people start out with is their mail and their calendar and maybe to-do lists, kind of stuff. Dawn and I have tried several methodologies and apps and workflows for managing our to-do list, and to be honest, none of them has really worked as well as we wanted. A doesn't have a good division between an alarm that's a reminder that you're, prompting me to do something, versus a list of to-dos. That she's good with things that have a specific end date. She's not very good with helping you maintain a list of things that don't necessarily have an end date. Like, one of the things Don has on his to-do list is swap out the anode in the hot water heater. And he's basically just waiting until he got a free afternoon and the weather outside's not too bad. So he wasn't going to do it in the middle of the summer, even though it's cool under the house. He wasn't going to do it in the middle of the summer. You got to pull stuff out maybe and put stuff back. And anyway, so, he doesn't want to never do that or forget to do that, but it's not urgent. So it goes on his to-do list, but it sits there for a while. So we need help reviewing the to-do list weekly, probably. And I need to put things on Don's to-do list, and he needs to put things on my to-do list, and, that kind of thing. And we also need one in our household that handles Android and iOS and handles both the workstation and the phone, because neither Don or I really wants to maintain this list on our phone. I realize some people, they don't have a computer even, but Don and I are not those people, and we want to manage it from where we can really type on our laptops or our workstations. So we installed notation today at one of the Grok bot suggestions, and we're giving that a try, and so far so good. So we got that set up. That was a thing. And then, as I was explaining, I've got one of the bots accessing Google Drive, one of the bots accessing Google Photos. I am going to have one of the Grok bots accessing WeVideo, but I have a legacy signed in that uses Facebook, and Meta is determined to make sure you're not a robot getting on their system. And even though Grok tried to get out of the picture to let me do the sign in, where Meta wouldn't know that a robot was there, Meta still knew. So I'm just going to get WeVideo. I have instructions to get them to allow me to sign in with a user ID and a password instead of my Facebook credentials, so I can get Meta out of the picture. I was so frustrated with Facebook. Very frustrated with them. It wasn't the Grokbot's fault. But I will get stuff automated there. I plan on automating. Maybe I'm gonna have Canva, and occasionally I play around with making a thumbnail, but if Grok can help me make a better thumbnail, then I'm gonna do that. It's gonna require me knowing what I want, me conveying what I want, me making sure it's what I want. So there's still a lot of human involvement, but if it can help automate it some, then I think I can do a couple things better. And it ought to be able to do stuff over on YouTube, like maybe putting in a better YouTube description, other than the template I've been using, because it'll be able to go in and watch the video and make notes on it and then put stuff. So we'll see. I got ideas. How many we do, I haven't done all of that yet. So what else did I actually do today? Well, we have it downloading our Duke Energy bill from their website up to a Drive folder and updating a spreadsheet for us. It's sending me a daily briefing with calendar, weather, important emails. On Wednesdays, it tells me what steaks are on sale at Harris Teeter, and whenever the Duke bill comes in, it tells me the current bill, whether it's more or less kilowatt hours and cost than the same bill last year, and important stuff like that. And then it sends it to Dawn in an email. So for right now, instead of both of us having it, we're kind of doing a few things for Dawn, but we're doing them through me. And I have it monitoring my Ring dashboard to look for cameras that have no connectivity or have batteries that need attention. And then I have it scanning for certain footage in the footage once a day, and putting files that are a certain specification. Like if you see a fox, I want that file in the folder that day. If you see a bird taking a bath in the bird bath or the fountain, I want that file for today. So basically my criteria, but instead of me spending my time looking through there, it can find them for me and probably do just as good a job as me, but maybe not. We'll see. You don't know if you don't try would be my thing. And I'm trying to think of what else I have going. Let me pull it up on my phone. So I have it monitoring some sales stuff that I'm interested in on Lego, price watching, 2x points, what's the GWP, the gift with purchase, that kind of stuff for me. I was already doing a good job monitoring it, but if it can update me in the daily briefing or remind me at 5 after midnight because I've missed a few times at the first of the month that I meant to go buy something, then all the better to have another set of eyes helping me with it. And I have it reminding me what I'm supposed to be doing on Pokemon Go. I know, funny, but it is one of my hobbies. And so I won't have Michelle sending me, it's community day, are you catching Pokemon? Which is great that she does that. A few times I've been out of pocket. I've been in rural areas we've been driving where it's very hard to do community day. But certainly if I'm around town, I want to know so I can go out and play it, you know, put in the effort. And like today was mega stormy day. I haven't gotten in a raid yet, but I need to. So, anyway, so it can help with that. And I have it monitoring for important happenings with Tesla. So usually I'm reading on X, but I want to be in the loop on what those were with some talking points in case I want to share that stuff with you. So these are, all things except for the one thing for Dawn that I'm already doing, but I think this thing can help me do it more consistently and just give me one more nudge in the right direction of being, of having good stuff. We have a scans folder from our Fujitsu, fancy scanner that has a lot of stuff in it, and they all have this generic file name with the date they were created. So I'm going to tell Grok to go in there and, I want the date to stay in the name, but I want a name of like, what is this? Is this my aqua water bill? Is this a receipt from the vet? Is this, the last refrigerator receipt we bought? Dawn and I agree, we could use some help getting the files in there renamed to a meaningful file date. So I don't really feel like I need to do it, but there's not a lot of space. So I'm just going to make a copy of the contents of that folder, tell Grok to go rename them. Once I verify it looks good to me, whatever that means, it's the same number of files. He followed the naming convention I told him. The naming convention seems accurate, then I won't keep 2 copies around. But I can, make sure that's good. Oh, so we have YouTube TV. And we can only set things to record a couple weeks in advance. I can't. And then, like, if you're recording a series, it will remember that for forever. Like, When Calls the Heart doesn't come back until sometime next year. But because we've recorded every season of it, when it comes back, it'll automatically start recording. But, like, for the Hallmark new premiere movies that come out every week, we can only schedule them 2 weeks in advance. And we can... Hallmark gives you a way to add it to your calendar and send you an app update and all this other stuff, but they can't actually make YouTube TV record it for me. So I showed Grok how to sign into YouTube TV. I showed him how to check what the premiere movie for the week is and told him to go schedule it. So that gets Dawn out of the loop. It has to be the way it works. Even though I have access to it, it has to be done under Dawn. Dawn signed in on the TV. It needs to be under his account. So anyway, and now that I've shown it how to sign in, if we're watching anything else and I'm like, oh, we should record that, or I just want to watch a certain movie, I can say, hey, go sign in and record the next time Star Wars plays, or whatever I want to do. It's, only going to work for YouTube TV stuff, but still, that's good in most cases. And if I wanted it to have control over at, let's say, Paramount, I could show it how to log in over there and tell it, do the same thing. But I don't have a need for that right now. So I'm not doing stuff just because I can. I want to do stuff that provides real feedback. But, you know, A would have to do the reminder Saturday morning to go check for the premiere. I'd have to look up what the movie was on the app. I'd have to tell Don the name or how to spell the movie, you know, a time or two while he was getting the app up on his phone. And then he'd finally hit the plus sign and we'd be all good. But why do that? And you know what's the worst that can happen in this case? It doesn't record the movie. And I realize it's missing. And I have to go in and tell it to record it the next time it plays, and I don't get to watch it for a week or two. These are not life or death things. These are things, A, I think it can do really good, and B, if it doesn't do them really good, then I can recover from it. It's not something I can't recover from. So, yeah, I'm just, every time something pops in my head that I think I can automate and save us time, I'm going to go do it. But I'm really excited about trying the Canva thing for better thumbnails. And I'm really excited about trying the editing thing. And I really do want to redo the opening of the videos. I do. It's just a matter of making time for it. I guess I don't have a clear plan. If I knew what the plan was, if I had the files, if I was sure the direction I wanted to take with it, it'd be done already, right? Because your girl here, she knocks out stuff really good. But it's sort of this nebulous thing of I know I want it, but I don't know what it should be. And so I'm having trouble finding the time and motivation to make it happen. But maybe Grok can help me sort it out. Have it go watch all 3,000 videos and tell me what the highlights are or something. I don't know. Anyway, so that's an update on GrokBots. Today was all about GrokBots. X is alive with GrokBot stuff. If any of this sounds interesting to you and you feel inclined, maybe you give it a try too. It's working so far so good for me. I'm really excited about it. I think there's a lot of potential there. I feel good about what I got set up so far. I think there's going to be other things to set up that are going to be really helpful. Well, Foss Demolition has set up their fences and sign and everything, and I'm sure very quickly here that building's going to be gone. So we got a lot of spots here on Main Street where the original buildings are gone and new buildings are coming. Okay, we have a flashing crosswalk now. I had not noticed that before. Didn't notice it. Is it on the other side of the street? Well, it looks like it's on the other side of the street, except there's a tree there and you can't see it pretty much at all, which is why I guess I didn't see it coming through town. Not at this crosswalk though, so that's weird. How about this one? Nope, not here either. So I wonder why. Maybe it's coming. I was going to say, does it make sense to add it to one of the crosswalks but not any of the others? Maybe that was the one being missed more. Maybe it was being missed because people can't see the pedestrians because of the parked cars in the tree. Anyway. The truck will see more than the average driver and stops when needed, so I'm not too worried about it. So it is 85 out there. Not too bad. And like I said, we've cleared up here sort of toward the end of the day. Don wasn't too worried about the sun coming out and the temperature because, you know, he's working in the shade down there in the woods anyway. It makes a big difference. But it's not too oppressive. Although I heard Chris Michaels say that Monday morning when we walk outside, we're going to definitely notice the drop in humidity. It's going to feel better Monday morning. I'm going to hold him to it. It better feel better when I walk out there. Why can't it feel better tomorrow, though? At the last minute, I told the truck to go to the splash pad. And I don't have it saved in my profile like Dawn does. And it went right past South Park and then turned in here at the Kidney Center. And I've taken Splash Pad out now and told it to go home. I just wanted to drive through South Park and spin the extra Pokestops, but that was a little weird. I had to go through a little bit of gyrations there to fix navigation without taking over. because we're at 212 miles and I didn't want to break my streak for fun. I don't know what was going on there. Technically, you sort of can't. The splash pad, if you might remember, does sort of butt up to the back side of that assisted living area, but it's not that close. So today I want to go down and check on how Don's doing, and the truck correctly backs me into the Charger. I can't win. He really has made some additional progress down in there on the part that he didn't do yesterday. It's a big deal. Looking good. Really, you can tell. You can see that one patch of stuff there, which might be hard to get to because of debris or downed limbs or whatever. But yeah, it's just going to town over there. Nice. Really nice. Not going to sit here too long because I'm afraid it might throw something, even though he's pretty far away. That wouldn't be good. And I mean, look at down here at the front. You know, I had, that's just really impressive. That looks, I'm so stoked. That just looks so much better right up here. Well, we do have a little bit of poison ivy that grows right along the edge of these trees. And knocking it down and keeping it low and not letting it climb and stuff is really good. So I'm impressed. It looks darn good. Thank you, Donnie. Every day we keep on getting some nasty political ad. I'm not interested in the ads from either side. Do they actually think that those political ads influence who I'm voting for? Because they don't. All they do is just kind of make me disgusted about the wasted glossy paper. And, you know, it's never exactly what those things say. So, anyway. Let's see, in here where Don did. He had to avoid my little trees and stuff. I'm sure he did good. I'm not counting, Donnie. I'm not counting. Well, they all have a flag and a metal thing up around them, or they're really big. One of the two. So, I'm out here in the garage, and I'm going to get a box ready to go to UPS to go to Colorado. It's 6:48 already, and I'm not going to pull out all those Lego bins. You know, this project requires me to pull out a lot of stuff and then put away a lot of stuff. I'm going to take a break tonight. I just turned on the AC out here so it'll feel okay to be out here. And yeah, that's what's next on the agenda for me.
met you in the morning, summertime. The skies were warm and